Hey everybody, Dick here, and today I want to do something a little unusual for the channel, but I don't know, seemed to make sense for me. Today, right here in front of me, I got a package. This package is from Lehi, Utah, which, as some of you may know, is the home of the Blade HQ, which is a pretty well-known knife retailer. And inside this package is something that I've been really curious about. This is a Benchmade Anthem, and by the way, I'm live, so you're welcome to ask questions, whatnot about that. But anyways, and the reason I wanted to open this guy live is because, well, A, lot of people have been curious, and well, B, because a lot of people have talked about Benchmade. So Benchmade is a great company in a lot of ways. They've made great designs over the years. They've had really good products. They've had really bad products, but that's true of any company. But really, the bigger issue Benchmade's had lately is with quality control, with things like blade play, etc. And I'm really curious. I'll be honest with you, it's been a long time since I bought a brand new Benchmade because of it. But a lot of people have been saying that, you know, basically Benchmade is back, that they have fixed it, that they have solved any problems, that they are all set, good to go freaking now. And so I wanted to do this unboxing live, so we figure that out, so we see it together. So if there are issues, it's right here on screen, and, you know, there's a good paper trail, so to speak, and if there aren't, well, all the better. So, yeah, there we go. Let's go on ahead and jump into it. I am going to unbox this knife using another integral knife, which is this little guy. This is the Reich 1508, I believe. Yeah, I think so, 1508S. Very nice little knife here. I don't think I've mentioned this yet on the channel here, but it's interesting, and I've been carrying this and enjoying it. Cleaned off the pivot a little bit. It had some zombie green there. So, yeah, let's take a look-see here. Pop that in there, and I am going to peer inside just to make sure that there are not receipts and whatnot that could bear personally identifiable addresses and information and things like that. But here we go. Put this open. That looks to be a receipt. Blade HQ telling me I am a knife addict. Yeah, rub it in there, Blade HQ. Rub it the freak in. Alrighty. And in here we have a separate packaging. And inside this packaging we have a box. And inside this box, presumably, we have a Benchmade Anthem. Right here. Let's figure it out. Oh, Benchmade, don't do me wrong here. Please be a gem, be a gem, be a gem, be a gem. Right here is your Benchmade Anthem. Looks neat. Sure enough, it's an integral. All right. Nice. Very smooth action. No blade play on any dimension. Hey! Hey, go figure. Alrighty. Actually, this is pretty neat so far. I mean, it's running on bearings. It must be. Which is kind of awesome. And, you know, it's pretty nice. One thing that's really interesting to me, and another reason why I wanted to pick this little guy up, is that, actually, somebody's mentioning blade grind. Yeah, blade grind's uneven, but, you know, that's in the grand scheme of things. That's not the end of the world. I can live with that. I'm going to change the blade grind over time as I use it. Good and sharp, though. That's nice. But one of the reasons I'm particularly interested in this little knife here is that, A, it's Benchmade's first integral, at least that I'm aware of, and that's really nice. But the other thing is, look at this. Inside this guy, let's get a little light on the subject here. Inside this guy is a more conventional coil spring. So we can see right in there. And this is what's actually controlling the axis lock now. The axis lock is using this spring here rather than the Omega springs that are present on most of Benchmade's other models that sort of curl around inside here. You watch a disassembly video, you'll see it that way. And so this is Benchmade's first step away from Omega springs, and these are a point of failure. 100%. And I mean, that's not necessarily on Benchmade. Those springs are... Wow, this blade's really thin. Hold on, sorry, I just realized that. This is a nice thin blade stock here. But I'm really curious, and I love the action of it, honestly. It feels very nice in terms of the axis lock here. I'm not sure I'm loving the reverse Torx sort of situation, although I understand that that's what they need to do to take this guy apart. In all likelihood, so see here, you've got this Torx thing, they've got a driver for it that can pop the axis lock out of there. That said, I'm pretty sure that you can still take the knife apart just by popping out the pivot and letting the blade come out. I'll be trying that for damn sure. But, yeah, I'm impressed by it. I'll say that much. No wonder Frankie and Bird liked it. So Frankie and Bird over at the Birdshot IV channel are big fans of, they handled one of these recently and were really blown away by it. So that's really nice. The clip is, it's certainly got some similarity to some things. Whoa, look at the clip's positioning, though. That thing is sprung way the heck up there. That's interesting. I wonder if this has any pocket retention. Yeah, actually, it's not bad. Not a whole lot of flex to this clip here. You can see right here. But you know what? Hey, we'll find out. So yeah, that's nice. Oh, centering. Somebody else mentioned centering. Centering? Well, aside from the fact that the tip of the blade is a little off-center because the grind is very asymmetrical, centering is fine. So, yeah, this is very much within the range of a knife I would consider perfectly acceptable in terms of fit and finish. I mean, yeah, do I want the blade grind to be asymmetric? No, but you know what? All told, I'm going to be okay with this. So, yeah. This appears to be on bearings. The smoothness is very nice, and I suspect it'll wear in, because right now I'm feeling, wow. God, that stop pin is pretty nice. That feeling. How is this guy stopping? It's an axis lock, so, yeah, I think, yeah, it is contacting right here. So that's how this guy stops. So that's nice. Lock rock, no blade play, no nottage. I think we're pretty much set here, which is, frankly, a beautiful thing. So that's nice, and this is number 118 out of 1,000. I'm generally not a huge fan of the first production thing, but they've made it smaller and less obnoxious now. Do I have any first productions around? No, usually it was like all the way across the freaking blade. So, it's nice. Is that a chisel grind, they ask. Yeah, somebody just said, I was impressed until I saw the price. Yeah, this is an expensive knife. We're looking at $425 or so. Same price as this little guy from Reich Knives, which is also an integral. A little bit, actually, I think it's in the same ballpark as your Spyderco Nirvana, although this is a reground Spyderco Nirvana. So very different situation. Very, very nice knife with the regrind. Watch for a video on this guy. And the CKF Tegral here is another integral knife. So, there you go. Bunch of integrals right now on my table. I kind of got the integral bug. After handling the Nirvana again and then this Tegral, there is a certain joy to them, 100%. So, yeah, that's very nice. VQ Man, that's the one I returned, Nick. Oh, interesting. I'd like you to leave a comment to give me a little bit more information about that. Because, yeah, very interesting. Well then, we'll see if that pans out in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. So you can see here that there are actually these two screws here, which are holding in this little mount here. Yella Deckers is asking me, what are the advantages to an integral over a, more conventional pocket knife? Well, practically speaking, there aren't that many. I mean, integral knives have one really cool thing, which is that the entire frame is one chunk of metal here. So much like on the Nirvana here, there are not two pieces. On your conventional Benchmade, there's one piece over here, one piece over here, and it's held together with screws. But if you look at this guy, the only real screw on this guy that needs to be there is this pivot screw right there. It will provide a little bit more structural stability, if you will, if it's done properly, and there is a feeling of solidity that you get, and with this axis lock it is pretty solid too. But this is a really impressively solid little knife, and that can be a real joy. And frankly, for me, a big part of it is just the machining aspect of it. I love seeing that. I'm getting people requesting size comparisons right here, so let's go ahead and check this out. Right here is your Benchmade what the hell's this thing called? Anthem. There you go. Benchmade Anthem right here is the Spyderco Delica. Interesting. Very interesting there, VQ man. Like I said, let me know more about that. He's talking about how he had the same production number. The possibility, though, is that that knife was destroyed and this was a new one or something like that. But we can see here that blade length-wise, we're right in large Sebenza territory. This is not a small knife whatsoever. Right here is your Spyderco. I'm sorry, it's not a Spyderco at all. This is your Ontario Rat number 2. And your rat number 1. Hey, I didn't mix them up this time. Live. Hey. Right here is your Grimsmo Norseman. So we can see here, these are both ridiculous knives in their own special little ways. And right here, Z Hunter. Hey, Z Hunter. Beautiful. So, yeah, there we go. So, that's the Anthem here. Very interesting. I'm going to be carrying this guy a little bit, see what well, more than a little bit. I actually bought this guy. Thank you very much, of course, to my Patreon patrons who make taking baths like this one possible. It doesn't have the spring deploy that some of the Benchmades do. But so far, the clip isn't thrilling me there. That amount of spring there isn't super stellar. But so far, the rest of the knife seems pretty nice. Maybe I can flip this clip around and bend it down, although with the way it's designed, I wonder whether that would end up causing more trouble. I don't know. I'll play with it a little bit there. But, yeah, very nice. Jason's asking about the Spyderco regrind. I'll have a review of this guy coming up here soonish. I'm not going to be doing additional knife, well, at least serious knife videos until after Blade Show, just as a courtesy to the knife-making community on the whole. I don't want somebody to go into Blade with a terrible, terrible freaking blight on their product line. That would be knife makers have enough going on right now. So, yeah, very much so. Tom S., does Benchmade send out free titanium clips in the same way they do with the rest? I don't know that. Actually, that's a really... I wonder. I'm wondering whether this clip is the same as this clip in terms of its screw pattern. It doesn't... Does it? It could be. And if so, that's actually really interesting, because then I could swap this clip out for something else, which might be a little bit more deep carry or something like that. So there you go. And yes, indeed, we all know what this clip looks like. It looks very clearly like a rattlesnake. What were you guys thinking? And yeah, well, I'm glad there, Yella. Yella Dekash, by the way, is the person on the channel who is excellent at putting up transcripts of the Ask the Nick questions. So I want to throw a public shout out to Yella there, because that's spectacular. It's a baseball bat. Yeah, anyways. So there we go. Just a short little live video today, but I figured I would actually do that one live, just, hoping that there would be good, but wanting documentation in case there wasn't. God, I do love the thinness of this. I wonder if it cuts. Let's see if it cuts. Do I have freaking paper around? No, I have this. Yeah, let's try this. It's not bad. And we can compare it to a knife that doesn't cut so well. This knife, just so you get a sense of it, its only sin is that it's super thick behind the edge. And that's kind of a big sin. But nonetheless, it seems to cut very nicely. Yes, I bought new shirts recently. There you go. Watch check. My watch is sitting over there. Customary wristwatch check. I'd taken it off. But here this little guy is. So, yeah, no watch, I know. Sebas Arguello? I'm not sure he's asking me to say his name, and I don't think that's a slur of any kind. Awkwardly Social asks, here, I'll do a little bit of an Ask the Nick here, just for the people who are curious. Do I watch the Urban Gentry? I do on occasion. He is a very good resource for knife reviews. He certainly has his own set of biases, as do I. And, there were parts of it that I could probably take or leave, but nonetheless, he's an interesting guy, and has helped me out with some nice purchases in the past there. So that's very nice of him. Ariel Sirota asks, does this mean Benchmade's quality control is okay already? I don't know. The thing is, and this is going to be a full video later on, but you got to assume that there's kind of a distribution of quality. You get for any given company, some knives that are way worse than usual and some knives that are way better than usual. And we don't have a sense with any one knife of whether we're actually, this is a really good Benchmade Anthem, whether this is a really bad one. And we don't have a sense of how good they usually are. We don't know where that distribution is, so to speak. And so maybe if I got 10 of these and took a look and they were all good, then that would be great evidence of something like that. A lot of people have been saying Benchmade's doing better, and I really hope they are, because they need to right that ship and really kick ass and take names. But as of now, not super impressed. This guy is doing good, though, and I really, really, really hope that they get to the point where I can, spend $425 without fear on a Benchmade again in the future. So there you go. Just bought an 810 on Contigo. Great knife there. Let's see here. What else do we have? Let's see here. Chris M asked, Nick, have you seen the Spyderco mid-year catalog? Yes, I have. So everybody, if you go to the Spyderco forums or their website, or I think it's on Reddit, Knife Club, whatever, you can find links to their newest catalog. And so they've got some interesting stuff there. They've got a compression lock native, which is bigger. It's like 4.6 inches or something like, 3.6 inch blade. And it's called the Shaman. Which is great, because I love the Shaman, one of the very best 70s, 80s electronic outfits out there. But that should be a great knife there. They have officially announced the Sliver Axe, which is the... That's what the Paul Alexander compression lock flipper is going to be. That's in a catalog now for the first time. What else? It was announced at SHOT Show, though. And what else? They've got some other crazy stuff in there. One of the big ones is that they are now pushing the PM2 and the Para 3 into Maximus Steel. So you'll be able to buy a production Maximus Para 2 and Para 3, which is kind of a beautiful thing, 100%. And yeah, so that's pretty nice. One other thing that Spyderco has announced recently that I don't know that I've commented on, but I'll go ahead and do so, is that the Reinhold Rhino design has been in delay forever. This is a very small compression lock knife that I've been on order for forever, but they haven't made it. And the reason for that apparently is that the factory they were using, their Taiwan plant, which is different from Taichung, who's making knives like the Spyderco Nirvana here, but the Taiwan factory wasn't doing a good job of it. And so they actually moved that knife over to the Taichung factory, which does great work. And they've upgraded it from BD1 steel to, I believe, XHP, from G10 scales to carbon fiber. And the price is going to go up, I'm sure, but it's going to probably be way more compelling. And it's on phosphor bronze washers now rather than Teflon. And they made a point of mentioning that, which is just so beautiful. So Spyderco, I'm really happy you did that. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, so that's those are the mid-year Spyderco things. That's right. Knife News did a story on this mid-year catalog yesterday. So go ahead and check that out there. Oh yeah, Eric. So my buddy Eric just got a little Nalaka. Which is another one of the Spyderco's little sprint run sorts of things. It's a baby version of the Nalaka, which is pretty excellent there. Looking forward to seeing those guys in the future. Let's see here, the extremely mediocre gamer, nice name. Yeah, he's not loving much beyond the shame, and look, I'm really excited about that compression lock flipper, because Paul Alexander is the guy who designed the Ouroboros. And the Ouroboros is one of the best knife designs that's come out in a while, in my opinion, although it was not implemented particularly well by that factory. And so seeing the Ouroboros get... at least that designer get basically a second chance at Taichung is really exciting to me. So that's great. Landon Blazes says, if Nick says hi to you, he is the best reviewer. Well, I don't know that I'm the best reviewer, but hi, Landon. Yeah, oh man. Speaking of Maximus, what have I heard and what are my thoughts on it? So Jeremy, I actually did end up buying a Native 5 in Maximus Steel. Unfortunately, I think I got a lemon. Speaking of that curve of distribution, basically, a lot of people have had really great luck with Maximus Steel, and I didn't. Mine was chipping like crazy, and just having some major problems. I think I got a blade that was just, the heat treat wasn't quite right on it. That sucks, but you know what? That's a thing that happens. We have to be sympathetic when issues like that do arise. And so, mine is currently back with Spyderco, and we'll find out what they have to say. They may swap it out. This is really solid. I love that clackety sound there. Sorry, it's probably pretty loud. But yeah, we'll see what that guy has to say later on there. Yeah, let's put all the integrals out here on display. Let's see here. Here's where the other integral's at. Come here. Here we go. This little guy, and there's a CKF around here someplace. Weird knife, this guy. These are all, actually, reviews of all of these are going to be coming up at some point. This guy hasn't even been filmed yet, but there we go. Thoughts on the Kaiser Lundquist? I assume you're talking about the Kaiser Feist, and that's this little guy here. This little guy is, well, there, an interesting knife. You know, I'm not going to go too deep into it right now, but unfortunately, a lot of people have been having struggles with these in terms of machining and whatnot. Kaiser is looking into this, but, you know, so I don't really know how that's going to happen. A buddy of mine whose name I'm forgetting, I want to say Daniel, sent this guy along just to check out quickly, and then Kaiser is actually sending me one separately. And so I'm looking forward to comparing the two and seeing if they've both got some machining issues. But, yeah, there you go. What do we got here? Yella is saying, loves how the reground PM2 looks. Yeah, this is just a beautiful, beautiful knife, and it cuts like a dream. Like, okay, you know, I was just doing some cutting tests, and it's weird to do cutting tests. You know, you guys don't know how this actually works, but this knife actually cuts pretty well. I'm really happy about that. This guy is a freaking lightsaber. With this regrind on it, it is super thin behind the edge, and it cuts just so well. It's like scary good at cutting things when you move to that. So that's really nice. Yeah, very interesting. Let's see here. Brian Whitlock, well, I'm talking about integrals, is asking what I think about Lion Steel's integral knives. Lion Steel makes very interesting knives. Unfortunately, a lot of their integrals in the past have used Teflon washes. And if you watch my SR2 video, you saw how much of a pain that was for disassembly. And I don't think it's a great choice ever, but I think it's especially not a great choice there. I'm hoping that they'll fix that in the future and that their knives are going to be great, because the SR2 was right on the edge of being a gem, but then disassembly was one of the circles of hell. And so I decided against it there. So yeah, that's a great question there. Mike L. is asking what an integral knife is. I actually explained that earlier, but it basically means the entire handle is made out of one chunk of metal rather than multiple chunks like this little guy right here. The Grimsmos keep talking about doing a 3-inch integral knife, and holy crap, am I going to buy that so hard. Let's see here. What's Maximus Steel? Why is it so coveted? You know, there's a bunch of research out there on the internet talking about it, but basically it is a brand new, really super steel. It's supposed to be incredibly wear resistant. It's supposed to be great. I'm looking forward to seeing more of it, especially once mine gets back and I get a better performer, that sort of thing. So yeah. John Akshar, is there anything Grimsmo you wouldn't buy? Yes, indeed. I did not buy the Grimsmo top, and although I bought the spinner, I realized I wanted out of the spinner review game, so I just sent it along. Technically, I just bought it to forward it to a buddy of mine. So I'm not going to do a review on it because it's already sent along, and I don't care about reviewing spinners. Although they're suddenly a thing, which is weird. Like my local mall has a fidget spinner booth now. And like 3 months ago, I was just some random jackass for reviewing these. I don't get it. So there you go. Tristan Heath, it's not that I don't love spinners. I think they're fine and they're fun, but I don't love reviewing them. I don't love them that much. So, yeah. Anyways, that's a joy there. I'm trying to think if there's anything else worth saying here. How much time, Ariel Sirota asks, how much time do you spend looking for new knives or knife news? You know, I'm in the beautiful position now where very often my viewers will actually send me links to things before I even have a chance to look them up. Like, I've got a core group of people who are just constantly on Instagram like, oh, Nick, did you hear about X, Y, or Z? And it's beautiful because, you know, I'm able to spot things before anybody else would. I've got this huge network of humans kind of informing me here. It's like the freaking CIA of knives. And so that's kind of nice, except they're not reading my internet. But anyways, maybe they are. That's creepy. Whatever. Sharpening choil. By the way, look at that sharpening choil. Seriously, here's the plunge, here's the end of the choil. Benchmade, you did that right. Hey, nice. Anyways, so I've got the freaking knife CIA tipping me off on things. Lee Beezy's asking the price on this guy. This runs $425, which is a lot of money. That is a lot of money. I don't think it's out of line given what a lot of other sort of integral knives go for. This is also $425. I think this one is too. Like, apparently $425 is the integral price right now for knives, excepting lion steel. But yeah, this is a very, very expensive little knife here. But so far, it seems pretty decent. And yeah, I kind of want to put a new edge on it, but that's okay. Oh, life. But anyways, guys, actually, I think I am going to go on ahead and bail. I actually do have to go into work today, which is not super stellar, but that's okay. Yeah, they're not forcing me to, but I really should get some stuff done. Anyways, hope you guys have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of the day, that you enjoyed this live unboxing, and Benchmade, thank you for not sending me a piece of crap. I appreciate that very much, and I really do hope that the ship has been righted. See you guys. Bye now.